There are those who walk among us with a gift that cannot be explained, the child who sees visions before they unfold, the healer whose touch eases pain, the mystic who perceives hidden realms beyond the senses. Some dismiss these abilities as coincidence or imagination. But what if these gifts are echoes of a deeper truth? What if certain souls arrive in this world already attuned to the unseen, born with an innate connection to forces that most struggle a lifetime to access? Are they remnants of past lives, the chosen vessels of divine purpose? Or is there a hidden science to their abilities, one that has been understood by the initiates of mystery schools for centuries? In this video, we will uncover the true origins of spiritual powers. We will explore the ancient wisdom that speaks of souls carrying abilities across lifetimes, the energetic structures that influence spiritual gifts, and the unseen forces that shape human destiny. You will learn why some individuals seem to be born with abilities that others must cultivate, and, most importantly, how you might awaken latent gifts within yourself. The answers lie in the realms of karma, energy, and divine intention, realms that we are about to enter. Are you ready to unlock the mystery? Throughout history, stories of those born with extraordinary abilities have filled sacred texts, ancient scrolls, and oral traditions passed down through generations. From the child mystics of the East to the shamans of indigenous tribes, from the prophets of the ancient world to the oracles of Greece, certain individuals have always stood apart, capable of seeing beyond the veil, healing with a mere touch, or wielding wisdom far beyond their years. In Hindu philosophy, such individuals are sometimes referred to as siddhas, souls who have carried over powers or siddhis from previous lifetimes due to their spiritual advancement. The Bhagavad Gita speaks of those who, after lifetimes of meditation and practice, are reborn with a natural mastery of spiritual truths, as if they had never forgotten their past wisdom. In ancient Egypt, the initiates of the mystery schools believed that certain souls entered the world already aligned with the divine forces. The priests of Thoth, keepers of sacred knowledge, spoke of those whose past lives of devotion allowed them to reincarnate with an active connection to hidden truths. These individuals were swiftly recognized and trained in the temples, where they were guided to further develop their abilities. In the Hermetic traditions, the principle of as above, so below teaches that our spiritual state in this life is a continuation of what came before. Some souls have already walked the path of awakening in previous incarnations, and so they return with a greater connection to the energies of the cosmos. This is why certain children display an unexplainable wisdom, perception, or magnetism. They are simply remembering what they once knew. Even modern mystics and esoteric thinkers propose that spiritual powers may not be gifts at all, but rather the natural abilities of a soul that has already evolved beyond ordinary perception. What most see as miraculous, they see as simply the next stage of human development, one that, through the right methods, can be unlocked by anyone. But what are these spiritual abilities? Really? Where do they come from? And what distinguishes those born with them from those who must seek them? To answer this, we must go deeper into the nature of spiritual power itself. The nature of spiritual power is not random, nor is it bestowed upon a select few by chance. There is a hidden order to why some individuals are born with extraordinary abilities. These abilities, whether they manifest as heightened intuition, the ability to heal, or deep spiritual insight, are not mere gifts but the result of something far greater, the continuation of a soul's journey across lifetimes. The soul's memory and the law of spiritual inertia. Esoteric traditions teach that the soul is eternal, moving through countless incarnations, each one a step in its evolution toward higher consciousness. Just as a skilled musician does not forget their talent when waking up each day, a spiritually advanced soul does not lose all its progress simply because it is born again. This is the law of spiritual inertia, a principle that states that whatever spiritual state we achieve in one life carries over into the next. This explains why some individuals, even as children, seem to possess an unshakable connection to hidden knowledge, heightened perception, or mystical abilities. They are not learning these things for the first time. They are remembering past lives and the unfinished work of the soul. Many ancient spiritual traditions hold that souls return to Earth with a purpose, to continue their development, to resolve unfinished karma, or to assist others in awakening. Some individuals are born with profound spiritual gifts because they made certain vows, engaged in deep practices, or underwent sacred initiations in past incarnations. Consider the Tibetan practice of recognizing tulkus, reincarnated spiritual masters. These individuals are identified from a young age and are found to have knowledge and wisdom far beyond their years. The Dalai Lama himself was recognized in childhood because he displayed intuitive memories of his past life's teachings and abilities. Even outside Buddhist traditions, we find stories of children who, without instruction, can recite sacred texts, display remarkable wisdom, or perform inexplicable acts of healing. These cases often point to the idea that the spiritual work begun in one life can continue in another. The connection to universal consciousness. Some mystics suggest that spiritual power is not about the individual at all. It is about one's ability to connect to a greater universal field of consciousness. Just as some people are born with a natural talent for music or mathematics, others are born with a greater capacity to tune into higher frequencies of existence. This tuning happens in many ways. Through dreams and visions, some are born with an open channel to receive messages from higher planes of existence. Through energy sensitivity, some individuals feel the flow of life force energy, known as prana, chi, or ki, and can direct it for healing or insight. Through heightened intuition, a deep, unshakable knowing of events before they happen, or an ability to read people and situations beyond logic. In many cases, these abilities are the natural state of an awakened soul, a soul that has already learned to operate beyond the limitations of the physical world. But if spiritual power is carried over from past lives or a connection to universal consciousness, then why do some people lose these abilities over time? And how can those who were not born with them begin to awaken their own hidden potential? To understand this, we must go even deeper. If spiritual power is carried over from past lives or emerges from a connection to universal consciousness, then why do some individuals seem to lose these abilities over time, while others never develop them at all? The answer lies in three key factors: karma, conditioning, and free will. The role of karma, spiritual power as a test. In esoteric traditions, karma is not merely about reward or punishment, it is about balance and evolution. If a soul misuses its abilities in one lifetime, it may choose, or be required, to return in another incarnation with those abilities suppressed until the wisdom to wield them responsibly is attained. For example, a powerful healer in one lifetime who used their abilities for personal gain may be reborn without their healing gift in the next. Or a prophet whose words caused harm may return with their spiritual sight closed, forced to rediscover wisdom through effort rather than birthright. Spiritual power is never given without purpose. It is always a test. Those who are born with it must prove their ability to use it wisely, or they risk losing it, either in this life or the next. The influence of conditioning. Why many forget their spiritual gifts. Even those who are born with a strong spiritual connection can become disconnected from it due to societal conditioning. The modern world prioritizes logic, material success, and external validation over inner knowing and mystical experience. From an early age, individuals who display unusual abilities, such as heightened intuition, energy sensitivity, or prophetic dreams, are often dismissed, ridiculed, or told they are imagining things. This suppression of spiritual potential causes many to abandon their gifts and conform to a world that does not recognize them. But the knowledge is never truly lost. It is merely buried beneath layers of doubt and distraction, waiting to be reawakened. Free will, the choice to remember or forget. Ultimately, no matter what gifts a soul brings into this world, it still has free will. Even the most spiritually advanced individual can choose to ignore or suppress their abilities. Conversely, someone who was not born with obvious spiritual power can awaken it through effort and practice. The mystics say that within every soul there is a seed of divinity, a potential to reach higher states of consciousness. Some are born with that seed already in bloom, while others must cultivate it. But all have the ability to awaken. So how can those who wish to reclaim or develop their spiritual gifts begin this journey? To answer that, we must turn to the realm of practical application. If spiritual power is not merely an accident of birth but a test, a responsibility, and a potential within all, then how can one awaken, reclaim, or strengthen these abilities? The answer lies in intention, purification, and disciplined practice. Step 1. Reawakening dormant abilities through intention. The first step in unlocking spiritual potential is conscious recognition. Many individuals have latent gifts that remain unused simply because they have never given themselves permission to explore them. Start by asking yourself, have I ever had moments of deep intuition that I ignored? Have I experienced unusual synchronicities but dismissed them as coincidence? Have I ever sensed unseen forces, energies, or messages but pushed them aside? The mere act of acknowledging these moments allows the mind to shift from doubt to openness. Awareness is the key that unlocks the door. To amplify this process, begin keeping a spiritual journal. Record any intuitive insights, dreams, synchronicities, or strange sensations. Over time, patterns will emerge, revealing which abilities are already active within you. Step 2. Purification of mind and body. Spiritual energy flows best through a clear vessel. Many esoteric traditions emphasize that those who seek to develop mystical abilities must undergo a process of purification. This does not mean adopting rigid religious practices. It means creating an inner and outer environment that supports higher awareness. Mental purification, reduce distractions, limit exposure to fear-based media, and practice meditation to quiet the mind. A still mind is like a calm lake. It reflects truth clearly. Emotional purification, let go of resentment, anger, and attachment to the past. These emotions create energetic blockages that prevent spiritual clarity. Physical purification, eat nourishing foods, drink pure water, and spend time in nature. The body is the temple in which higher awareness unfolds. Those who carry powerful spiritual gifts often find that their sensitivity increases when they begin purification. They may feel energy shifts, heightened intuition, or a deeper connection to unseen forces. This is a sign of awakening. Step 3. Disciplined practice to strengthen spiritual powers. Just as a muscle grows stronger through exercise, spiritual abilities develop through consistent practice. Here are some techniques to awaken different forms of spiritual power. For intuition and foresight, practice deep meditation followed by automatic writing. Pose a question, enter a relaxed state, and allow words to flow without conscious control. Over time, the accuracy of these insights will increase. For energy sensitivity, spend 5 minutes each day holding your hands apart and sensing the energy between them. Focus on feeling the subtle tingling or warmth. Over time, you will begin to perceive energy in people, places, and objects. For lucid dreaming and astral experiences, before sleeping, repeat the phrase, "I will awaken within my dreams." Keep a dream journal and write immediately upon waking. Awareness within dreams leads to awareness beyond the physical realm. For manifestation and influence, experiment with focused visualization. Imagine a specific event unfolding with absolute clarity. Hold this vision daily and observe as synchronicities align with your intent. The key to all of these practices is persistence. Spiritual power is not something that simply appears. It is something cultivated through daily commitment and unwavering faith. Overcoming common challenges. Many people start on this path but become discouraged when results do not come instantly. Doubt is the greatest enemy of spiritual awakening. If you feel blocked, ask yourself, do I truly believe this is possible? Am I consistent in my efforts? Am I allowing my logical mind to suppress what my spirit knows? Remember, those who are born with spiritual power have earned it through past efforts, but those who develop it in this life will appreciate it even more deeply. The path of awakening is always available to those who seek it with an open heart and a fearless mind. From the ancient seers who spoke with unseen forces to the modern mystics who perceive truths beyond the ordinary eye, the presence of spiritual power has always existed among humankind. Some are born with it as a lingering gift from past lives, a karmic reward, or a divine responsibility. Others awaken it through intention, purification, and discipline. But in truth, the potential for spiritual power lies dormant within us all, waiting to be remembered. The key is not in questioning why some have it and others do not. It is in understanding that all souls are on different paths. Some arrive in this world carrying the wisdom of 1,000 lifetimes, while others are just beginning their journey. But no one is truly without power. The difference lies in awareness and practice. If you have ever felt drawn to the mystical, if you have ever sensed energies unseen, if you have ever known things without knowing how, then perhaps you too are among those who carry an ancient gift, waiting to be reclaimed. What will you do with this knowledge? Will you let it fade into the background of daily life, or will you awaken what has always been yours? The choice is yours, but remember, those who seek will find.